So my experience with Paraguay is very, very special because yeah, you can see my two little kids, and we were traveling around and the world, and somehow got stuck there because of these warm-hearted people. So it's a country full of emotional well-being, very peaceful beings you wouldn't even think of when you think of a third world country maybe. But that's the reality. Of course, there are different hierarchical levels and stuff like that, poor people, rich people, but in general, very peaceful, sometimes a little bit lazy, but that's just how it is. The weather is sometimes warm, but very rich in terms of resources. And that made me think of, hey, why don't we take this opportunity and going to Bitcoin mining, and that's how we get started. And I met my partner Björn, and we started Vanguard Bitcoin mining. Today, I would like to compare these two countries because it's very, very important to me that you can learn about that. And obviously, most of you guys mine in America or the Northern Hemisphere, but I would definitely love to get you into the Southern Hemisphere. It's a small country in the South, but a very, very rich country. In terms of resources, and that's basically what we are looking into it. And in our terms of sustainability, renewable energy sources is key in the future. I'm really, really strong in that because I believe that it's really, really important. And obviously, we have the second largest dam in the world, and this is about 14 gigawatts, this dam. It's huge building. If you're there, you cannot miss it, and you have to go there. Just watching it, it's impressive. You have never seen a building like that, I'm sure. They built 10 years just to get that running, and it's now 50 years old, still really, really good. And yeah, for Paraguay, economically, that means we have an overproduction of 100% renewable energy resource. That's incredible. And for that small country, that means, of course, a very good growth. And after agriculture, renewable energy is the source of income. That's why they export 90% of their energy. So imagine that compared to US, which is still importing a little bit, at least what I know. And that means we are very rich, and we are at the right place, guys, for mining. That's definitely the right place. That's why we took the chance and built our own substation. We have 3 cooling concepts running at our infrastructure, and we provide you guys infrastructure if you just come and play your miners, or you can build out with us. So we are very flexible in terms of this infrastructure and hosting. We have even our own hardware repairment center and employing a lot of Paraguayans, which is very good for the economy and also for social responsibility. This is what they like us to do, and that's what we really love to do. So just a few key numbers. We have a very, very good PPA with the government, and we have like 4.2 cents per kilowatt, 100% renewable, of course, and just a little bit away from, not far away from the dam. We would like to scale up to 1 gigawatt in the next couple of years. That sounds a big number, but actually it's not. If you look into the resources of Paraguay, there is so much resource available there, and which should not have to be exported, but they cannot use it, so they have to export it. But we are here to help, and hopefully my message for today is that you can come and benefit from that. Of course, this rate is unmodularized, meaning that you have 100% uptime almost. And yeah, we start in May with 100 megawatts. What about uptime? I told you it's 100%. We have any shutdown things like sometimes going on in Texas. We have, just fully contract, and we can do it in peace. Yeah, we can just mine and do our stuff. What about regulations? We were asked a lot, but Bitcoin is regulated. And it's even the first country in South America, and a lot of people don't know it, but Bitcoin mining is legal since 2020. It's a law. We have a statement from the lawyer that everything is fine, and you could just do it. What about energy tax? No tax at all in that respect. What about government integrity? A lot of people think that government is like a little bit corrupt or something like that. Let me tell you something. There has never been a government confiscation in history at all, in no industry. There is not even a legal setup for that in the country. That's because of the country. There is a lot of wealth in the country, let me tell you, but it's under the radar, okay? There are a lot of wealthy people, also a lot of German wealthy people, and it's just under the radar, right? And they control the country, of course. So there are a lot of, let's say, 150 families, one city, and that's how the structure of the government is looking like. And we can, of course, use this structure. We have relations to them, and that's why we have relations to each party. Even a party shift would not even mind. And the best thing is, some of the most influential people in Paraguay has stake in mining. So there is no reason. Why should they do anything against Bitcoin mining? The press and the media, of course, they do whatever they want. Maybe you have heard of the last press where they denied a law. This law, sorry to say that, was bullshit. It was nothing, and for us, it doesn't mean anything. Bitcoin is already regulated, and it will be, and the energy rates, which was around that topic, is fixed for us anyway. Because we have our own substation, we are completely out of that range, okay? And also for smaller parts, it's still very, very good possibility. So is Paraguay secure? As I said before, and from my personal experience, it's very secure. You can walk wherever you want. Of course, there are areas where they are very poor, where you shouldn't walk at nighttime, okay? But they are so nice people, and also maybe it's from our history. Our ancients were religious refugees coming 200 years ago and bring a lot of values to the country. So it's a Christian country, and they are very. Honesty and so on is very important. Although you will find something else, but in our case, I have never experienced anything else. What about physical security? Sometimes we get the question, are our mining secure? Yeah, well, first we have to see the numbers. The crime rate decreases in Paraguay even. If you compare it to America, you see it increases. That has something to do with the growth of the country. And we have to be aware, not the biggest player is the most secure, but rather the player whose growth, the economy grows. And that is Paraguay. Paraguayan economy is booming, it's emerging, and energy market is really at the start of really rising up, because the dam is now paid off completely, and because of that, now this year will be expansion a lot. What about organized crime? That we get that question. Well, it's very specific and minor, specifically for drugs. They don't have interest in anything like Bitcoin. Most of the people don't even know what it is, by the way, and that's not like in the States. And it's very peaceful, and it's on the north coast to Brazil, and of course that's something we don't have to do with. So we don't have to deal with anything like organized crime. What about pros and cons? Now you can see the list. I'm sorry that you can't see the minus, but you can see that America has a lot of them if you really compare each thing seriously. What about energy supply, for example? Well, there are pros and cons in America. In Paraguay, you can be sure you have enough energy. And the grid is perfect if you're at the right spot. So I would definitely give Paraguay a plus. Sustainability, of course, 100% hydro energy. That means you will not even deal with anything else. Uptime, obviously negotiable, but we have 100% uptime. Energy taxes, no energy taxes versus America. Cost and labor, one employer costs $10 a day. So you can think of how this could work, and it does not even have to ship for repairment somewhere else. What about security? As I said, in numbers, it seemed to be equal to America. And economic growth is definitely increasing in Paraguay versus America, where it's declining or whatever. So you see a lot of pluses for Paraguay, and I really love to get in touch with you to talk about your strategy